Happy Saturday. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Cindy and I am a 31-year-old mom with 3 kids and 1 more on the way. I work in early childhood education for a local nonprofit in my area, and my husband and I have been using the cash budgeting method for about 2.5 years now in order to gain financial literacy, take control of our finances, and build the life that we want. If that sounds like content that you are interested in, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and follow along, and make sure that you like this video so that I know this is what you want to see. All right, so today we are going to be doing cash stuffing in my wallet, my one envelope in my sinking fund binder, and my kids binder. And I have some story time for you all. So let's start out and count the cash. I think this is $185. I made some changes. If you've been here for a while, you probably hear that number and you're like, oh, hey, you just updated your grocery to be that exact amount. What's going on? Don't worry, this is not all grocery. So let's count it and make sure this is 185. I'm pretty sure it is. These 20s are all brand new, by the way. I was really excited. Like, the serial numbers are in a line and everything. Like, it's so fun. So these are new 20s. So these are going to be kind of sticky. But so we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 150, 5, 60, 5, 75, 85. Okay, so we do have 185, which is great. So first, in my grocery envelope, I will go ahead and tell you guys, there is no leftover rollover money this week. You probably noticed because I did not have a rollover video on Thursday. I have absolutely nothing left in my wallet at all whatsoever. The reason being, we ended up overspending a lot, and I had to pull some things. We had some unexpected expenses come up. I went up to license my husband's new car finally, because there was a whole thing with the insurance company. Essentially what happened was, in our state, when you total a vehicle, you don't pay sales tax on that vehicle. So our insurance they gave us a waiver that we were supposed to take up to the DMV and use that waiver to, essentially it would credit the sales tax on the new vehicle. It's pretty much what that was going to do. So we were doing that, but there was an issue with the type of signature on that waiver, and so we've been going back and forth, and it's been a whole thing. Well, finally we got it all sorted out, and they were saying that we owed the last 2 years of personal property tax. I went up to pay last year's because we haven't paid that yet. It just got pushed to the back burner, but I had the money for it, and I went up to pay last year's, and they said that we also owe the years before, and I'm certain that's not true because we licensed a vehicle last year, and we would not have been able to do that if we hadn't paid the previous year's personal property tax. So I have to contact them to figure out what happened, but essentially I ended up paying double what I expected to pay, and I had to pull from everywhere. So that was a bummer, and we'll get it figured out. I'll get it straightened out, and we'll find the receipt and get it corrected. But in the meantime, just so that I could title the new car or license the new car, I just had to do it and get it done. So it's fine. Now, grocery right now today is only going to be getting 45 instead of its usual 185. And the reason being, I have a sick kiddo this week. My daughter was at school yesterday for all of about 20 minutes before they called me and said, hey, she's acting kind of off. And so we took her temperature, and it's a little over 100. She has a low-grade fever. Can you come get her? So I went and got her. And her fever ended up spiking very, very high. She was really, really sick all day yesterday. So instead of going out to the store and spreading germs, I just made an Instacart order for our groceries. And this $45 is what is left to use for the rest of the week for that. So that's why it's only $45 this week, because I already used most of it. Household is getting $25. And I'm not sure that we need anything. I did go ahead, I'm gonna be honest, I went and got a couple of household items in this grocery order. I don't think I'm gonna split them up. I think it was combined, it was probably less than $10. So I'm really not worried about moving the household money over to the grocery to like pay that envelope back for that. Honestly, it's not really a big deal. My personal spending for the week is getting $10. I already gave my husband his. He got quite a bit extra for his personal spending because he got his typical amount that covers his weekly bowling night, but then also he is taking our oldest son out tonight. They're gonna go to the movies and go grab some dinner. So I gave him extra for that. The cats are gonna be getting $40. And I guess we're just gonna have to start saving back up again. I had mentioned in one of my previous videos that we found a vet for them that's local to us now, and they require a deposit for new patients. So I was saving up for that deposit, but of course with the sales tax or the property tax issue, that was a whole thing, so that got cleared out. So I guess we're just gonna start fresh and see if we can come up with something else for that instead. Next, we're gonna go into my sinking fund binder, and this is only going to receive money in one envelope today. And so we are skipping gifts, we are skipping car needs, although we didn't skip it this week. We had some work that needed to be done on my vehicle, so my husband just paid with the debit card yesterday. This was going to receive $200 for that, and he used the $200 on the debit card, so it technically got money, it just was already used. So vacation is the one that we will be stuffing today, and it is going to, oh, you cannot see that at all, that is way too light. Let's go with purple. So with vacation, we still don't have any plans or anything yet, but we're thinking that here soon we'll start figuring out what we want to do, where we want to go. So I'm gonna put 25 into vacation today, because that will round it up to an even 400, and that means I can take this extra $100 in cash to the bank and put it in the high yield savings account. So currently vacation has 100, 200, 300, which is in the high yield savings account right now, which means this should be $100, and we'll be going back to the bank tomorrow when I go out to grab a couple things, and it'll just be added into here, so I'll put a placeholder. So 20, 40, 60, 85, 95, 100. So this is 400 total between the 300 in the bank and the 100 in cash, which is fantastic. And that is all that we're doing in here today. Lastly, today we are going to hit my kids binder, and holy cow, do I have an update for you guys. So if you've been here for a minute, well, I guess I do say it in my opening message now, but if you've been here for a minute, you know that in the back of this binder is an envelope I am saving up for the new baby. We have been just kind of adding a little bit here and there as we can. We put $20 in every double payday and $20 in every commission check for the baby. 5, 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, and 3 for my oldest son's necessities. So we've been setting stuff aside for the baby, and I pull from it periodically if we need something. And I've been talking about how excited we are to meet him and see him and how he's doing so well. And I have to actually update his tracker today when, oh wait, this one doesn't get money. It's the next one that gets money today. Just kidding. His sports isn't getting anything, but it has 45 currently. So we had our anatomy scan this week, and after all this planning, we have some boy things. We got a bunch of boy hand-me-downs from my nephew, and all this happened. Turns out the baby is not a boy. We are actually going to be having another girl, and that was a really big bomb to drop on me. So we will be updating that, but we're very excited. My daughter and my husband and my oldest son were all really wanting a girl, so they're absolutely thrilled. So currently, in my oldest son's birthday, he has $55, and he is going to be the only kiddo receiving birthday money today, simply because we had other things we had to put money in, but his birthday is like coming up soon. It's next in line, so I want to make sure I'm still adding something. My youngest son is getting $5 for his necessities, so he has 20, 35, 40 in here. And he doesn't really spend his necessities money all that much. It's mostly just whenever he runs out of toothpaste, or he needs a new toothbrush, or he needs some shoes or something like that. So we're skipping his sports tuition, and we're skipping his birthday. Excuse me. We're skipping his birthday because it's not until August, so I've got some time. My daughter's necessities are going to be getting 5, so now she has 35, and I did not update her tracker from when I pulled out of it to get some things from the store for her, so it's fine. I'm not going to fix it. It's just updated now. So skipping her sports, skipping her birthday. Her birthday isn't until November, so I'm really not in a rush. This is the baby's envelope and tracker, and I need to update that. So she will be receiving this last 20, and this should be now 310, which means I can take 100 back to the bank. So 100, 200 in the high yield savings in her account, 20, 40, 60, 80, 110. So that means that she will have 300 in the high yield, which is really exciting. That's a pretty good start for everything she's going to need. Because we have most of like big things that she's going to need. I'm not really too worried about that, but I'm trying to save as much as I can. Some of that money in there is going to go to a friend of mine, is going to be my birth photographer, and some of that is going to go toward paying her for that. So that's one of the things that we'll be doing. And so that is all I have for you guys today. come back tomorrow. I am going to be stuffing my savings challenges, and I finally get to break open my holiday binder as well that I made. I'm really excited about that. I really expected to be in my holiday binder a lot sooner, but that's okay. Better late than never. I will be starting that tomorrow though. Well, I mean, I have already kind of started it. I had some rollover one week that I did put in there. So there is one holiday that already has a little money toward it, but I haven't been able to really put into it the way I wanted to. And I haven't even really shown you guys it. I think I showed you once. So I'm really excited to get started on that. And then on Monday, I will be doing an update on our debt payment and our emergency fund goal, so you guys can see how far we've come with that, which I'm really excited about. We, so far, every single week in January, we have been ahead of schedule in terms of our emergency fund. I had listed out sort of like a kind of like a cheat sheet, I guess, of like each week how much I would have to set aside to reach our goal for the emergency fund for this year. And so far, every week in January, we have put in more than that required amount. So I'm really actually hoping, fingers crossed, if it continues going like this, we should have our emergency fund funded. Honestly, I think I might be so bold as to say at the end of May when baby comes. I really think we might have it funded shortly after baby is here, which is amazing. That is going to be a huge relief, because while I will still be getting income from my job, and I'm also planning to really focus on side hustles for extra income while I'm home with the baby, it's just going to be such a relief to know that we have that $2,500 emergency fund set aside. And I know that that's not, it's still not a whole lot. It really isn't. That is just our starter basic emergency fund. I'm just trying to hustle and get it there, and then just kind of let it sit for a while and focus on other priorities while it gets interest, because it is in our high yield savings account, which gets a really decent amount of interest. And then whenever we're ready, we'll go back and add more to it. So it is a true emergency fund. But $2,500 is just the baseline starting point that I decided on. And that's simply because there's a podcast, a personal finance podcast that I listen to called How to Money. And there's an episode in which they talk about how financial experts have run the numbers, and they've found that while a lot of people strive for $1,000 emergency fund, which is an excellent safety net that most people don't have, the average emergency is something like $2,460 something dollars. So I just rounded up and I'm trying to play it safe and have $2,500. So that's why that is my goal for my starter emergency fund instead of $1,000, which I think we hear a lot of in the budgeting community and on YouTube. So, but we are almost, I'm gonna kind of spoil it for you a little bit. We are almost halfway already to reaching that goal, and it is the end of January. I mean, January is not the only month I've been saving for it. I have been putting money toward the emergency fund for longer than just this month. So it's not like that whole almost 50% is from this month, but a really good chunk of it is, and I'm so proud of that. I'm also so proud of what we were able to do with our debt payoff. If you missed it, I will link it down in the description box, but I have a video of what my financial goals are for 2025, and I talk about, there's 3 main debts that I'm striving to pay off this year. That is my SUV, my care credit card, and one of my student loans. And if you have not seen that video, please go check it out. I'll link it for you, make it super simple. But I go over all of my goals, and we've made some really good progress so far on those items. Not as much as I was hoping, just because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I think I kind of I jumped in and I forgot to actually plan it out each week because this is a new goal for me, and so I kind of just jumped in each week and did the typical budget and forgot to add those in. But even still, even considering I sort of forgot some things here and there, we're doing really good on that, and I'm really excited about it. So that's enough of me yapping. I feel like I've kept you long enough. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it to this point, drop me a cat emoji in the comments so I know that you made it this far. And if you have not subscribed yet and you want to follow along and see if we're able to reach all these goals and do all these things, please subscribe. I would love to have you here. I am actually preparing for a 600 subscriber giveaway. I made a savings challenge for 600 subscribers that I will be giving away to one lucky winner once I hit 600. So that's really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to that. In the meantime, I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend and a very relaxing Saturday. I will catch you in the next video.